Ah. Okay, what's up, everyone? We here again. So today I'm feeling a little bit like I don't even know what to say today. But there is some stuff I want to update you with, so I'm gonna try and do my best to kind of go ahead and do that. So it's Friday today. It's Friday morning, and I'm straight chilling. To be honest, I'm off work today, so I'm just working on a little bit of artwork, and I'm gonna hit the gym pretty soon. And yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym and do some deadlifts amongst some other exercises. But deadlifts, they're really that main event. So that's that's something that I'm gonna do today. And sometimes I get a little anxious before doing deadlifts. It's quite an exhausting exercise, so it can be a bit daunting. But that's just all in my head. So I'm gonna go there and get those reps in regardless of what my bitch ass mind is saying. Um. So yeah. You know. Sometimes you have to just ignore what your mind is telling you. If I listen to everything my mind said, I'd probably be like in a paralyzed kind of mess, like I'm not doing anything, because my mind tells me a lot of like bullshit. Oh, don't go outside today, maybe something like that. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do like showering. That's who needs it. Uh, you know, maybe you could just crack open an ice cold beer at like 9 a.m. But sometimes you just have to ignore all of that and just there's something inside you. I feel like that kind of knows what the responsible thing is, and sometimes you have to live according to that and not let your mind lead so much. Sometimes I don't know. Whatever, just do what you like, but also maybe think about that. Sorry, my mic is flipping out right now. I just touched it a bit too much. So yeah, today, I was just doing a bit of coloring in. I'm actually going to try and put a little coloring in video up on screen at the moment, because my phone, I still haven't got a new phone because it's broken and I'm also broke. So, we got that double broke situation going on. So I, I won't have like those video visuals for you today. So I screen recorded me coloring in a piece that I'm working on, and I'll try and make it so that's playing while I'm talking, while I'm filling you guys in with whatever I'm gonna say today. Had a nice breakfast today. Bacon and eggs. Um, so yeah, let me fill you in with some art stuff right now, because I've been doing a bit of art this week. I think last week I was telling you I didn't have as much time to do art, and yeah, I was feeling a little bummed out about that, but now I'm back on my art shit. So this week we're back doing art. Um, and so on Wednesday I went to life drawing, I think that's a month straight now, so that's, that feels good. Can feel the creativity flowing. So, I made my way to life drawing class this week and almost didn't go this week. It was just, just those same old excuses that I was talking about earlier, Oh, my, I had a long day at work. I have that thing I need to do. Maybe I can do that instead. That thing that I need to alphabetize my socks in color coordination. Those kind of things were popping in my head. Basically everything except for going to life drawing was popping into my head. Just popping up, man. Just popping up with those distractions. But, I was able to put those distractions to the side, put that lack of motivation to the side, and just do what I knew was best for me. And I'm glad that I went, because I went and Tim was running the class again. And if you watch my last video, you'll know that Tim is that substitute tutor who fills in sometimes when the regular life drawing hosts are away. And I also said that, I quite enjoy when Tim takes the class, and that's because I do enjoy when Tim takes the class. Because of he's got that charisma, he's got the jokes. He comes with the jokes. So I was there getting my drawings in. Meanwhile, Tim's there, killing it with his stand-up routine. Tim's doing live at the Apollo while I'm doing that Pablo Picasso. So that was nice. It was nice to see Tim. Even got to chat with Tim a little bit today, as well as some of the other members of the class. So that was nice. And the reason why I enjoy when Tim runs the class, because he really encourages that experimentation. So I appreciate that. It's something I try and encourage within myself already, so it's nice to have that extra external encouragement. And that's Tim. TIM. Could probably make some sort of an allogram or whatever you call them. Like, Tim, try it more different than you usually try it. That's that Tim pictogram. So I had a nice session at life drawing. There was a heavy set model. She had a nice face. She had some good poses, and I got some good drawings of her. If I have the time, I'll put a couple of photos of those drawings up. Some of the drawings I liked from that class. And we did that, and Tim likes those hour poses at the end, 1 hour. So the final pose we did was an hour. And we don't usually do that with the other tutors. And I mean, 1 hour poses, they're not like... Sorry, my mic's vibrating again, but I can't seem to help it at the moment. Let's see what we can do. I'm not usually too fond of the hour poses because it takes a lot of concentration. Sometimes my concentration starts to fade after about, the first 30, 40 minutes. But this one I felt quite, zoned in. I was in tune with that charcoal today. Not today, on Wednesday. So the hour just flew by and I quite enjoyed the whole time. So that was good, maybe made me think, oh, maybe my focus levels are increasing because I've been practicing it now. I was just thinking earlier, but it's almost been a year now straight that I've been attending this life drawing class. And that's nice. That's nice. I might get myself an extra coffee, when I'm out to celebrate that. But as well of wow, that kind of sums up how I'm feeling today. As well of, so as well as life drawing, I've also been doing I've started a little personal project because I always like to keep those personal projects rolling. The idle mind is a devil's playground. Is a quote. Is a quote. So I want to keep my mind active because I mean, if the idle mind is the Lord's playground, then that active mind, that's that God's garden. That's God's garden. If it's basically Eden up in there when your mind's doing that active stuff. And I'm not talking about that rumination kind of active stuff. I'm talking that creative style kind of mind. Because there's a type of mind that's just annoying, that type of mind that's just complaining. Oh, it's too cold out. I don't like it when it rains. There's that. But I'm talking about that creative mind, the one that's, bringing joy. It's giving that extra quality to life. It's bringing that enjoyment and that style, It's that finesse kind of mind that I'm talking about. That's that's Eden. So the personal project that I'm working on, and hopefully it will be the thing I'm working on screen at the moment, in which I'm coloring in that piece. That piece that I'm working on right now, and you might even notice that it looks familiar. And I'll tell you why that is. This isn't no conspiracy deja vu kind of type deal. This isn't no coincidence. That you might be, maybe some flashbacks from the past might be coming up while you're looking at this piece. Don't worry, I'm here to tell you why. You're not going nuts. It's because this is actually a redesign of an old piece that I've done in the past. So if you're thinking about the past right now, don't worry, you're not being, a dweller. You're not being that history dweller, that 20th century bad boy. You're actually fully justified in thinking of the past because this is a piece from the past that I'm revamping. And the reason why I'm revamping this piece is because I'm actually reappropriating this piece. I'm giving this piece a new purpose. The initial purpose of that first piece, the original version of this piece, was to just convey, a kind of relaxed type of feeling I was having at the time. To convey that feeling in a good looking illustration. You got the girl leaning down with the booty. I think on the original caption that I posted Mars finna be lit underneath, because she's on like some kind of red landscape, and it looked like it could be Mars. Looked like it could be Mars, and there's a couple of flying cars, crossing her path. So that was kind of a little like background thing, that potential background story to that piece. Actually, I thought, oh, this chick, she could be chilling on Mars, when in the future, in the next couple of years, when Elon Musk has got his act together and has that Mars party popping. I thought maybe there'll be, a couple of, pedestrians. And I don't know if you're still called a pedestrian on Mars, or if that's like a Martian pedestrian kind of hybrid type word. But I thought there might be a couple pedestrians on Mars, maybe assuming that kind of position that this character is in this piece. Because I like to think about sci-fi stuff sometimes. It's quite fun to think about. It's good for the imagination. Sci-fi, thinking about, what kind of inventions gonna come in a couple years, in a couple of centuries. Maybe like a couple of ice cube crushers that really, you can crush the ice to whatever millimeter width, diameter, or whatever you desire. Because right now we've got those primitive ice presses. We've got those primitive ones. You can't really decide. It's just they leave it to that nature to decide how thick your cube crunched crystals are. But maybe something in a couple of eons to come, there might be that ice crusher that can crush it to that specific 0.3 millimeters, boy. That fine line ice. So yeah, that was kind of a little conceptual, vague concepts I had for that piece, because I told you before, I'm not usually that heavy concepts. I'm not that philosopher when it comes to my art pieces. And that could change, but that's just at the moment now. I like to keep it fresh and free from those restraints of that some concepts might bring. And I'm not saying that conceptual based work is bad, Sometimes I like to engage in that stuff, but at the moment, I'm enjoying that freestyle. But anyway, I'm repurposing this piece, You might notice that, there's some slight changes to this piece. And that's because I wanted to repurpose this piece. I wanted the new purpose of this piece to be a t-shirt design. Because I told you last week about how, I've had some some of them threatening DMs talking about where's the t-shirts at, and if I don't get my t-shirts by this particular date, you won't like me. You won't you don't want to go there. You don't want to see me when there's no t-shirts by this date, because you won't like what you see. So I thought I'd cover my back and just get some t-shirt designs underway. So I've simplified my design slightly. I've made the lines a bit more bold because I thought this original design, it is already a more simple example of my work, but there's still a few it's still quite a detailed piece relative to, I don't know, just, like something relative to like just a logo. It's still quite a complex piece. So, and I thought, the original design, it works well as just an art piece, maybe to hang in like a gallery or something. However, hanging out on the back of a t-shirt, I didn't believe that it worked too well. And that's just my taste, Some people might think, oh, that would look great on a t-shirt, or maybe that would look better than this new design. But personally, I believe that it needed to be simplified a little. It needed a bit more white in it, a bit more empty space to just give it some room to breathe. Let people, because when you're seeing someone in a t-shirt, they're usually, that person's usually in motion. Especially a t-shirt. Maybe if you like see someone in like a coat, maybe that person's more that stationary guy. That sedentary Stanley. But with a t-shirt, that's that active Aaron, He's gonna be in motion. That's that motion Mike. So therefore, I thought I'd simplify my design, because people are going to be seeing this on the move and they won't have time to digest all that information. So I thought I'd simple up my design, rework it a little, switch up the colors, and make it work as a t-shirt design. I put a little edge around it, like that border, that frame. Because a t-shirt, that's, artwork kind of, it looks nice in frames, and that t-shirt, that's that kind of T-shape, and you don't really get those T-shaped frames that much. And I don't think I've really seen many of them. Maybe like in a museum, maybe they have like that banquet hall kind of T-shape, Victorian kind of revolutionary frame design. But usually, you just get those square rectangle frames. Sometimes you get a couple of oval frames. If if you go to if you got that rich friend, you might go to his place and he's got that oval frame, in the hallway, in the pantry, in the study. That's kind of what that rich kid, he has that oval frame in his study or in his pantry. All those kind of rooms that you don't really have, but unless you're living in a mansion, like the tapestry. They'll have the tapestry. They'll have the they'll have the theater. You'll go in their house and they have the theater, and underneath the ottoman they'll have a little basement kind of backyard types. You know what I'm saying? The dining hall, actually. They don't have the dining room, they have the dining hall. And, that goes up straight. That's got those straight 30 feet ceilings, with the chandeliers. So yeah, and, you don't really get those T-shaped frames, like a T-shirt. So that's why I had to, use some innovation and actually just draw a frame around this piece. I got rid of some unnecessary details that I thought would, maybe be distracting when someone's in motion. I just wanted to get that main figure, the couple cars, and those kind of moons in the background. And I got all that in, and I'm happy with how it looks. It works well, you know. I'm excited to see how that looks in on a couple t-shirts. Um, and I got a little logo to go on the front, you know, like on the chest area. So that's something that I'm excited to do. You know, I think in a couple of weeks I'll hit the print studio, and you know, print those. Unfortunately I can't next week. I'm working. I got some extra shifts, so on the days that I'm not free on the days that the stew is open, you know. But yeah, let me know if you're interested in those as well. Because I was just gonna go and maybe print like 5 or 10 teas and see if anyone's interested in those, and if they are, you know, then I can maybe print a couple more. And you know, if you'd be interested in buying one of those, you know, before I actually print them, maybe you can just let me know. Let me know if you're interested, and like just let me know your size. You can probably send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll just make sure that I print a design onto a t-shirt of your size, in case you do want to purchase it. Then there'll be one available in your size. Because if not, I'm just gonna print a bunch of medium sized t-shirts. Because I guess I feel like that's like the majority of people's sizes. You know, you can kind of get away with a medium. You know, if even if you're a small, or you're slightly creeping into that large. So I feel like medium has that you know, the more common ground, you know, that overlap, you know, that Venn diagram, and there's that bit in the middle, that kind of like, that kind of ovalish shape where the two, circles intersect, that space in the middle, you know, that common ground. And I think there's a word for that, but it's all good. So yeah, if you're particularly, you think, oh, this looks like a nice design, I'd like maybe to wear that. You know, just give me your size so that, you know, you'll have the opportunity to get that in your size, because you don't want to be squeezing in or getting drowned out. You know, I'm all about that drip, you know, but when you start to drown, it gets a bit messy. And I don't know what selling price. I'll probably sell them for around £30. So yeah, let me know if that's something you're interested in and what size you are, so that you can get some of those first batch teas. And I think they're gonna look pretty fresh. You know, I'm gonna get this right. You know, I'm not going into this like willy nilly. You know, I'm not getting into it like that. You know, this is the real deal. You know, if I'm not happy with how it looks, you know, I'm gonna have to repeat it, because this is a little something I want to do right. But yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment, and that's kind of an ongoing thing. You know, this is gonna keep me busy for a little while, because I want to do you know, a few different designs as well, like maybe about 3 different designs. So I'm thinking about choosing a couple of my other existing pieces and simplifying the design down, so that they work on those mobile people, because you know, you can't just expect someone to wear your design and just stand still so that everyone can, you know, take in everything. So you kind of have to meet life where it's at, and simplify your designs so that, you know, they can even look good while they're on the move. Um, and yeah, that's what I'm up to art wise. Um, and that's keeping me busy. That's keeping me occupied. Um, I probably won't work on like a just a illustration just to explore like my feelings for a little bit for the next few weeks. I'll be keeping busy with this. And to be honest, it's always good to space those kind of pieces out so that you can you kind of need to experience life a bit before you can get that inspiration to make like a big piece. So in the meantime, this t-shirt project will keep me active in my skill wise. I'll keep active with life drawing and t-shirt making while I get that life experience to help motivate me for my next illustration piece. So yeah, other than that, it's all good. It's just been work. You know how it is at work. It's you know that keeps me real busy. Keeping that car park tidy. So that's good. I heard about the Takashi. So I'm a bit of a trap fan. I'm into trap music. Um, and I was getting up to date with that Takashi 69 news. And if you don't know Takashi 69, he's that real rebellious kind of young guy making that kind of intense lyric, like quite violent lyric type music. And to be honest, I like his music. I'm not about like his lifestyle. I don't know if he's gonna be living like that anymore. But anyway, he got in trouble with the law. He got a few serious charges, and he was looking at like a long. I was hearing like life and stuff, kind of that imprisonment. And he there was recently an update about him, and you know, he recently like snitched on a few people in his former gang, and like in the hip hop industry, like that's real frowned upon. And he even expressed how he found it was he frowned upon it himself. He frowned upon snitching himself, which was he kind of shot himself in the foot there, saying that um because he ended up doing that snitching, and now it looks bad. Now he looks like a hypocrite. Now, and his whole bad boy image now has kind of fallen flat, which must be hard for him. But it did seem like something he needed. He was starting to live real recklessly. He was like just going up in like maybe other rappers that maybe he was in like a bit of he had a bit of conflict with. He would go up into like their hood and kind of like talk reckless about them and be like, where you at. He was looking for trouble basically. So it might be a good thing that this whole situation has happened, where he has to he's like that forced humbling, because you never know, he might have got himself into a whole lot more trouble if the law didn't get to him first. But I thought it's kind of funny him snitching, because he has that line in his song Tattoo. It's like, police pull upon me. I don't know what happened. But I guess he does know what happened now, so. And he's like, police pull upon you, you gonna get to yapping. You gonna get to yapping, semi-automatic. We be on the static, semi-automatics. They gonna get to clapping. But yeah, so he was like, police pull upon me, I don't know what happened. But yeah, I guess he knows what happened now, so. You know, that's that karma, and I feel like it's all round. It's gonna be for the best for this dude, because he would have wound up getting himself into some serious trouble if he didn't get humbled like this. So I hope to see a more responsible Tekashi 69 or Daniel Hernandez. Now he might be going by. I'd like to see a more humbled one, still making art, because I do like his stuff, man. I hope he still, pursues that. I feel like it might be a bit tough now, in that industry for him, because he's done something that's a bit frowned upon. But and you know what, man, if I'm ever in a flipping legal thing and then the police are like, listen, you don't have to go to jail if you just tell me who did it, and I knew who did it, man, I'm telling them so quick. Man, I wouldn't be able to wait to say it, I'd probably say it too quick and I'll just fuck it up the first time because I'll be so excited and I'll be like, it was him. And then I'll say it really clearly. And then I'll just walk out and just with the biggest smile on my face knowing that I'm going home. I can go to the shop if I want to, and all of this just because I have to say someone who did a crime. You bet I'm doing that. So if you ever catch me snitching, just know I'm not being a hypocrite. I'm all about it. And I guess we'll sign off with that. Snitch life and everything. That snitch game, boy. Free me. If I'm ever in jail, free me by any means necessary, Yeah. Alright, thank you for Nilis. And I can't talk today, that's one thing I've noticed. I was gonna say thank you for Nisselin. Thanks for Nisselin, guys. Thank you for listening. I didn't know what I was gonna say today, but I ended up saying more than I say mostly. So I guess I'm just that real chatterbox sometimes, and I don't even know it. I don't even know it. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. Alright. Yeah, peace out. Let me know if you want any t-shirts in your size, if you want to request that, pre-release kind of things. I'll probably just print a couple and see how they go, 5 or 10. And then if they, if I get some traction there, then, I'll print some more. Check out my stickers out. They're out now, and I've got some screen prints for sale on my website. That's barryleachman.co.uk. Stickers are super cheap and super nice. So, and the prints are damn dope. If you're thinking about having some funky, fresh artwork on your walls, check out barryleachman.co.uk. I'll put the link in my description, boy. And thank you for listening. I've enjoyed this. I didn't know what I was gonna say, but just sometimes I'm that freestyle falcon, that Freddy freestyle. And yeah, enjoy your weekend and thank you.